Hi. Wow, that kind of just started right up. Okay. Well, it's been a second. Actually, I think it's been a couple months. Jesus. Aw. Thank you for scattering stardust. I forgot that's how I phrased that. That's so lovely. Let me hear it. Oh, I thought that had the voice set up for it. That's okay. Thank you, Duke. Let me go to the main channel and we can talk. No, that's the wrong one. You can tell it's been a second since I've done this. Sophia, Duke, thank you. I am 29 years old, and let me tell you, I am more looking forward to 30. Square. Oh god, that's almost 100 months. Oh Jesus.
Happy Day of the Bird.
You know what, Square? Thank you very much. You're probably going to hit 100 months right when the video gets posted. Oh, that's nuts. That's like 10 years of my channel, and you almost have 100 months of subscription during that time. That's insane. Thank you. I've been very, very, very busy. Let me explain where I've been at. I kind of wanted to wait a little bit for more people to show up, but I just need to say the words out loud. So, okay. Before anything, this past week and weekend, our AC was intermittently not working, and there's a bad heat wave. So, I spent the weekend at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It pretty negatively affected my health. I am starting to feel better now, which is good because it's my birthday. This day, them so old. I tell you, Krez, I'm looking forward to 30. I'm looking forward to being able to just say I'm in my 30s. I've had enough of this 20s shit. But I've been struggling with that, which sucks because I've been locked in working on the video, but I can't record audio when it's 100 degrees. Like, you'll hear it. I also shouldn't film when it's 100 degrees, but that didn't stop me from filming something anyways. Yeah, it's been bad. It's been bad these past couple of days, heat-wise. Creatively, I feel like I've hit a second wave, like a you know when you're exhausted, but then you get your second wind, and you're like, okay, no, I feel like I can keep going for a while. Like your body sort of locks in and accepts, like, okay, we need to push a little harder on this. I don't want to be 30. I think you're wrong about that, my love. T the clown.
Happy
There's
birthday.
100. 100. Oh my god, it actually happened. 100 months. Shit. And Krasner, who's fucking been on this ride the whole time,
Birthday
too.
subscription.
Thank you both so much. Thank you all so fucking much. Okay, let me explain. Coming up is the 10-year anniversary of the first video I posted on my YouTube channel. That is a big deal to me. It doesn't feel like it's been 10 years, but oh my god, Bamboo Sports, it's been a second. I'm so glad to see you. Nice. 6 nice months. Good months. Those are some good months. It's great. If it was 2 fewer months, I'd ban you instantly. No. Bamboo Sporks, you have supported me through some extremely rough times. Thank you. I really can't say enough about the people who have been here this whole time. Like Sophia. Thank you. Thank you all. I know it's been a while since I have streamed, but... So, okay. I made the decision because I want to get something out to you all in short order. I am splitting up this video into parts once again. It didn't include your message. Joyful birth? Okay, let me show you what a joyful birth looks like on camera. Here we go. Wait, no, sorry. Bezos will ban me. He'll like it too much. So, yeah, you know, that's why Bezos couldn't do it. He'd get too hard. So, right, okay. Where was I? I wasn't talking about Jeff Bezos. I have decided to split the video into 2 parts. What is left of the video. I don't want to give you all a 5-hour video, but that's kind of where it was starting to head. I am releasing the first part. I'm not going to say the specific day in case other shit happens and it gets delayed further, but my plan is in September. The plan is September for this next part of the video. What will be in this next part of the video? Review of Payday 3. The whole review. The entirety of the review of Payday 3 will be in the video. That is what the video is. The video is dedicated to going over mechanics, content, vibes, material, community, a lot. Like, it is reviewing the game. So you're going to get the whole ass review of the game. Everything that was after that is, unfortunately, the bulk of what I had been working on, so it's gonna suck that you all aren't gonna see that for a little while longer, but I'm gonna keep it a little while longer. Whoa! You basically just paid for our breakfast today, Chris. Shit. Hang on, do I need to read this out loud, or is...
You thought I was done? I got a job and I'm getting paid, so guess what? Happy Birthday Part 2 Deluxe Edition.
You thought I was done? That was so fucking intense. You thought I was done? You thought I was done? Oh, perhaps it was brunch. Perhaps. Hang on, let me get my fucking ascot. So everything in this after the split point. Thank you so much, Kraz. That is actually really huge. Jesus. Hey, thank you! Good to see you! Thank you. I was just talking about how the review of Payday 3 is going to be out in September. Everything after that, I am making into its own part, and that is also going to be out this year. I am aiming for November. It is possible that it will take longer. It is the part that has the most fact-checking. The part that has the most... If I get something wrong, I have to refactor a lot of this. I guess what would be fair to say is the contemporaneous, is that the right word? Contemporaneous? No, contemporaneous, right? Overview of the behavior of the company, that is Starbreeze, is what part 3 now, the finale for real, I promise, is going to be. That is all going to be at the end. Instead, what you're going to get is review of the game as it is, like, as close to the deadline as I can fucking fit it. Like, I have been structuring this video in a way where I am not recording the final words that will end up in the script until very close to the video's release for things that are subject to change, for things that are largely opinion-based or things that I know are getting updates soon. Like, I had a bunch written about the old version 99 boxes that isn't there anymore because it's not relevant anymore. I had a bunch written about the old skill system that isn't there anymore. It's not relevant anymore. I could go through and review the game as it was at that point, but then the video would be even longer, and I don't really think that serves a purpose. It's useful to mention the way things used to be, but that's not the game that you can go and play. It's a live service game. It's the most recent version of the game. Making the actual review its own part is a good plan. I want to both keep it separated from the other, I would argue, in the grand scheme of things, more important stuff, both because the game can change after the point of the review, but the facts, theoretically anyways, won't change unless new information comes out that disproves previously held beliefs. Someone anonymous has gifted my husband. My husband's getting gifts from some anonymous fucking suitors? Okay. We're gonna have a word about this later. And you're gonna hook me up with their deets? Oh, sorry, Sophia did. Oh yeah, we got married in March. Yes, March of last year. Um, yeah, we did get married. The we just did like the small ceremony with immediate. We have not done the full wedding yet. You definitely said congrats, Kraz. I do remember. I got weirdly emotional about seeing like longtime supporters congratulate me. I'm like, oh god, wow, this has been a long time coming. But we didn't do a big wedding. Thank you, Sophia. That means a lot. We did not do the big wedding because I want to do that back in Maine with like a lot of like my family who can't necessarily afford to travel. But it's also a kind of a weird time to do a big queer wedding right now. Yeah. Yeah, we're married. We've been together just about a decade now. That's crazy. That's so wonderful. So, okay. The review of Payday 3. I have been gathering a bunch of footage for the game. I wanted to wait. Like, I've been playing the game on and off this whole time. If something noteworthy happened, I saved a replay of it. But I wanted to wait to get the bulk of what I call clean footage. That is, the voices are set either off or extremely low. I have shade turned off, and I have character voices extremely low, so you can still hear, like, cops yelling and the like things that should be there. And then I just have the sound effects up and no music. This is how I used to do things back in the day, sans the voices part, because most of the time you couldn't turn that off back when I was making Payday 2 videos. I have noticed that I was one of the only channels and will now once again be one of the only channels who goes out of my way to play the game with the music off so that I can include sound effects in the video, which I think I am depriving myself of a more enjoyable experience, because let me tell you, Payday with the music off sometimes feels like death. It feels like you're in a void. Payday the Heist with music off is really good. There's a lot of like ambience. There's like the gun sound effects in general just like fill the air a lot better than they do in Payday 3 specifically. But I have been gathering all of that clean footage recently. If you've seen me and seen someone with my name in a lobby recently, it probably was me. Just like using different guns, going and playing every heist, doing different approaches, different like stealth loud, hybrid, getting as much footage as I can. And I gotta tell y'all something. Payday 3 without music is actually empty. I put a pin in that because I've got a thing to say about that vis-a-vis stealth. But I gotta tell y'all, playing a bunch of pubs and hosting pubs recently, I have gotten, with the caveat that I am setting the difficulty to very hard instead of overkill, I have gotten mostly new and very friendly players. It has been very interesting. I have not, since I have started going out of my way to record good matches, gotten one bad lobby. Like, everyone has been lovely. Like, at worst, it would be someone gets caught when we're, like, halfway stealthing, and before I can make it clear that that's fine, it's okay, we're playing hybrid, they leave. And, like, I wish I could tell them, like, no, you didn't have to leave, it's fine, I'm not mad at you, I'm not gonna kick you. But, like, everyone has been lovely. Which I find really interesting. I'm wondering if the majority of, like, the really sour people are still playing on Overkill, which is totally fair. Like, Payday 3 is overall easier than Payday 2. But it also feels like, I don't know about y'all, but the number one complaint I'm seeing right now in the game is that the cops are annoying to fight. Like, there are too many of them, they respawn instantly. Like, we've reached the same point that, like, Jules era Payday 2 did, of it's more worth it to just go around the cops than it is to actually shoot them, because they'll respawn so quickly anyways. I feel like the game plays a lot better on very hard right now than it does on Overkill, like, seriously. I don't blame you, Kraz. I really don't blame you. the experience the game is trying to offer is completely different from what most people set out wanting from Payday, including myself. They've been speedrunning the Payday 2 balance cycle as of late. Final Charge is actually insane on many heists. Them not reworking the Final Charge has been bonkers to me. That feels like the most obvious pressure point that exists in the game right now. Like, the smash and grabs are a nightmare. You can get the loot so fast, and that triggers the Final Charge so fast. Yeah, not to mention it takes up too much disk space, of course. Whereas Payday 2 recently had a downgrade on disk size that it was taking up. Yeah, I bring that up in the intro to the video of, like, only so much space for games in the upper double digits of gigabytes. Oh god, I did have a fucking nightmare scenario. I filmed the intro to the video, like, the pros intro, not the cold open, like, a couple weeks ago at this point. And only after an hour and some change of filming do I check and see that Audacity is set to 8% volume recording. So the audio was unusable. I am either going to accept the phone audio, which is not amazing, but it's fine, or I might just have to dub it, because I really genuinely do not have time or energy to re-record all of that. So I think I'm just going to have to do some ADR and hope that I can do it well enough that people don't complain. I'll see, though. Maybe it might just be that some of that live footage in the intro sounds different. Yeah, the heat meter feels like it would be better suited for the Final Charge. I feel like the heat meter is solving a problem that players were not having. Like, the ostensible problem it solves is I can't play the game, all of these cops are in the way. And that's the game you're supposed to be contending with them. I get the idea of, like, you want to beat them back and then use the time between assaults to clear objectives. That's not how it works. The objectives are things that take time. Thus, you want to be doing them with the time that you've got. Like, you can't just wait until the assault ends to start drilling a door. You've got to push in. You've got to drill it while you're getting shot at and defend that drill. I yesterday had quite a lot to record and say about Fat Cops. I pared down a bunch of it because it's not worth making it into a whole thing, but it's so representative of the target demographic that that Starbreeze is looking for right now. I've actually seen a kind of a lack of enthusiasm about the 64-bit version of Payday 2. I'm kind of surprised by that, to be honest. Like, I've seen a lot of people go like, "Oh, I'm glad that exists. I'm not touching it." Is it really just that it fucks with mods? So as a result, a lot of people are kind of exhaustedly like, "Oh god, 10 years of modding is getting upended. I don't really want to deal with that right now." Fat Cops made more sense after seeing the sense of humor in the dev updates video. I see the logic. I don't think that they should be hinging themselves on that kind of humor as much as they have been in their marketing material. Ultimately, the behind-the-scenes videos are not marketing material, they are community material, and those are not the same thing. Some companies get to a point where they're big enough that that can be treated as the same thing. Like, that's the Fortnite formula. Like, updates to the community are also doubling as marketing for either Unreal or for the game itself. But Starbreeze has, like, their trailers, and then they have their, like, for the people who are already playing the game, trying to keep you abreast of what we're doing videos. And it's weird when those two cross, and they don't cross properly. It's just impossible. There's just no way to make that happen. There's some stuff being worked on in the background to make sure mods in 64-bit will be seamless as possible. That's good. That's good. A lot of people are not checking out the beta because the mod's breaking. Still excited for it. It's Payday 2, but it runs better, crashes less, and takes up less space. Yeah, I've also seen, maybe this is placebo, but it looks like the shaders are a bit different too. Like, maybe just a little bit closer to how they looked on launch, where they look better. So, you know, maybe. I think that the state of Payday 3 right now is it is being treated with the importance and update cadence of a kickstarted early access game, which is crazy because they're almost 3 years into their already released live service schedule. They changed some maps, lighting, and stuff like that. Maybe they touched shaders, but I'm not sure. Interesting. It might be the lighting I saw that was different then. So, let me see. What else do I want to talk about vis-a-vis production on this thing? Have any of you... Actually, Square, that's exactly what I was going to talk about. Have any of you seen a person be excited, unabashedly excited, or just interested in Unreal 5 for Payday 3? I'll even broaden the scope. Have you ever seen a person get excited for an Unreal 5 upgrade for a game, period? I don't have a ton of confidence, I'll admit. Yeah, I think performance is going to be a big issue. If the reason they're doing it is because of dynamic lighting, horse shit. Isn't Unreal 5 infamous for being unoptimized? Okay, I think that's a little bit simplifying. However, you're more or less correct, and it's not you simplifying there. That's the narrative around it. It is much more difficult to light an Unreal 5 map with optimized lighting than it has historically been. It is easy because the relative ease of doing either RTX lighting or I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but Unreal 5 has like its own fucking version of lighting that it uses that is not performant. It is good at very quickly lighting a scene in a realistic way. It is not performant. I don't want to just say this out loud. Let me go look this up. Unreal 5 lighting engine. Lumen! 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 I believe it's Lumen I'm thinking of here. Lumen brings robust, dynamic, global illumination to Unreal Engine and integrates well with other supporting systems in Unreal Engine 5. Like, if you look at pictures, if you look at footage of Lumen lit scenes, it's good. It's really good. And it's running at like 50 FPS on most contemporary hardware. So like... I am very stunned at how bad the hair on everyone looks in Payday 3. Like, no one's hair looks correct in that game. It's always either overly lit shiny in like the middle section here, like halfway clipping out and disappearing, making them look balder than they are, or it's like plastic Lego piece locked into place. Like these are your choices. Personally, I suspect they could rework their lighting system for Unreal 4, but they decided to just go along with the Unreal 5 change anyway, since it will involve reworking the base code. That is more or less my understanding of the situation, because a lot of the lighting propagation was a systems developed by Overkill's The Walking Dead developers. Not all of them were still on the project for Payday 3. And then by the time they were really exploring, trying to make heists more dynamic and getting away from that lighting system, none of those people were there anymore, because a lot of them were the French team. So, here we are. You look at someone's hair from the wrong angle and suddenly it lights up like a DBZ character going Super Saiyan. I've got footage of a guard doing that, like walking into the light and their hair just turns full white. At first I thought it was on purpose, and I was like, wait, is there an old guard model I haven't seen before with graying hair? That's neat. Oh, no. No, you're... Oh. It's the same 4 guards, right? Except now they can be fat sometimes. I have the video's thumbnail made. I have the cold open completely 100% locked in made. The intro, I need to record either ADR or just the rest of the filler audio. I was thinking about actually maybe doing that, a little bit of that on stream. Do you intend to stream more often again? Once this project is done, streaming is going to be my main thing for like a while. If I want to get this video out by September, I'm going to need all of the time I can to focus on editing and recording. But after this project is done and I'm done with fucking Payday, like, Marina and I have a couple of games we want to stream together. We're gonna do the final in the Ace Eternity, the Apollo Justice trilogy. Like, I intend to, if I can swing it, stream more or less every day. Maybe not quite that much, but like multiple times a week, several times a week. I also could see myself taking a break from from working on the video stuff for like a week at most after the part 2 releases, and doing some stream stuff there. Stream the new Deltarune chapters. I'm wondering if I want to stream them blind or not, because part of the thing that's happening soon is my sister is getting surgery. She's not going to be in the best shape to stream things that require voice acting. She's gonna be okay. This is like relatively routine. Not my details to get into, but like projecting her voice or like laughing too hard would be an issue. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I do desperately need to play chapters 3, 4, and 5 though. Penny has been on my case about doing that. Pseudo Regalia I still have installed. I would not mind doing one-off streams of a bunch of these games I've been meaning to get to. Let me put on some more music so this doesn't sound as depressing as it's gonna sound. I've had this stupid blockade in my life of this video and this project since 2024. So, or 2025. No, 2024, because the game released 2023. Oh, Jesus. I have had this stupid project hanging over my head this whole time. Give me some nice music. There we go. It is hard for me not to think about it when I'm trying to do other things. I want to be on the other side of it. I want to be done with it. I want to have it completely out of my way. I was reasonably and healthily taking breaks while working. I took like a whole ass month off of the video late last year and early this year because it was like really getting to me. But now I'm at the point where anytime I take a break, anytime I'm doing other things that are like content creation adjacent but aren't the video, it is eating me alive. I am so stressed about getting things right, about getting it out in a reasonable amount of time, but more than anything, I just want it to be out of my life. I want to delete all of this fucking mass footage that I have. I want to get all of this shit off of my desktop. I want to not have to think about Payday again for an extended period of time, for as long as I can help it. I want this video off my plate, and until that happens, it is destroying me. I hate how committed I am to this project, but I do also feel like I am, this might be thinking a little too highly of myself, but I am the only person who has the knowledge, the resource, and the time. I guess time is a resource, but the knowledge and the resource to make this video accurately in a way that I think will actually reach the people I am trying to reach. This is not just about I want you all to have something to enjoy watching. I know there are people out there in the same exact boat as me, but about the game itself. I know there are people out there who feel very burnt on Payday 3, want to stop caring, want to move on, but are constantly clinging on to this sense of obligation or lacking closure. And having something with a bit of, like, finality to it that presents all of the facts, everything that happened, shows you the game in its totality. I'm hoping that it will give some people that closure, the way that the first part definitely gave people some closure. I got a lot of comments from people saying that they have felt this way about another game or seen this happen to their friends, like getting obsessed with the day-to-day of keeping up with a live service game in a way that feels very parasocial and is, like, directly taking your money. I want this project done and out in a way with a fervor that I haven't felt since I was writing those articles about the Trevor project. Like, I need this information out there. Even if it's only going to affect some people, for those people who it will affect, it may permanently change their lives to be just a little bit better, or at least a little bit more informed. It is hard for me to just do other stuff when I've got this stupid giant project hanging over my head. I am doing my best not to let it consume me, but the best way I can do that right now is to not have to work on it anymore, and that means finishing it. Apt song. Low motivation regarding Payday. Yeah, absolutely. Windbreaker randomizers, that's fun. I've been thinking about playing like a Link to the Past randomizer at some point, or like probably the Oracle's games, actually. I think I like those a lot more. Something about the Game Boy era, like, is comforting to me. It's my childhood era. I want to stream all of these games I have been gifted. I want to play all of these games. Carl, thank you. I need this project complete. I need it done. What the fuck were you thinking, Capcom? I like Capcom's takes on Zelda. They're fun. Your childhood Zelda was Twilight Princess, so Dusklight's release made you very happy. I actually haven't heard of Dusk... Wait, no, I think I did hear about this. I heard about it under a different name, or, like, different context. This is, like, the recompile for PC? It was Dusk originally. I see. Got renamed to Dusklight. Maybe because of popular video game Dusk, perhaps. I've got search history with Dusk. That makes sense. You played Skyward Sword as a kid. You never finished it. Played Link Between Worlds. Skyward Sword is worth going back and finishing, I think. It's a little bit tedious at times, but the worst of the game is, like, at the beginning of it. How long... Oh, okay, so, hilariously, at this specific moment in time, the third part is more complete than the second part. But the stuff that I have to complete for the second part is much, much, much faster to edit. You have your AC on, and it's hard as fuck to hear. No worries. The Spirit World yeah, no, I as a kid did remember literally like jumping scared and like getting closer to my sister because I was so scared playing those parts. Oh man. Shipbreaker is great. Would recommend. Wish it did a little more with its setting, but it's great. Great game. And the developers unionized. So that's nice. But I want to back up. You grew up with NES Zelda 1 and Wind Waker alongside Twilight Princess. I had the Collector's Edition as a kid. So I had Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and I also had Wind Waker. I think I actually had Wind Waker first, if memory serves, but I wasn't very good at it. And then I went back and played Ocarina of Time, was better at it, and then played Wind Waker. Shipbreaker, you could probably get through in a couple of days. Its play-on mode is fun, but not the... Who is playing Raid World War II right now? That's Bernadetta. Cool. I just saw someone playing it and it's like, red alert. My god. Oh, thank you! Thank you, Anonymous. Whoever you are, I appreciate you. I really, really do. Thank you. Back at it again. But... Okay. Backing up. The video... Yes, the third part is currently more done than the second part. I realized because as I was editing like what is now part 3, like that chapter, I was like, holy shit, this part alone is going to be an hour long. Like this chapter alone is going to be an hour long. I can't release a 5-hour video. Like, I don't think people want that. And it would also mean it would take so much longer to come out at all. I dropped editing that and went back to focus on the review part of the video, which I was delaying so that I could do it as close to the release of the video as possible to have it be the most updated version of the game possible. As a result, I did already have like everything written with some stuff that was like, I just had it marked in orange, just like subject to change. That I've retweaked and refactored, so I have a more locked-in, complete version of the script. There is still stuff that's subject to change. I might, like, be almost done editing this thing, and then the August update comes out and it's like, good news, we removed the final charge. I'm like, okay, thank you. I gotta go fix it, but thank you. Kaiju Cleanup. I have heard good things. Chronos the New Dawn, that game ran so shit, made you consider upgrading your PC. I have recently been roped into playing Pal World, and I say roped in, but to be perfectly honest, when you've got a brother-in-law who is doing all of the crafting tedious bullshit, and I just can run around getting good little creatures and like laughing at how obvious, like, oh, this is supposed to be the Suicune stand-in, this is supposed to be the Zangoose stand-in. I see. It's kind of good, actually. I would call it the crime boss of the Pokemon community. Like, it's so obvious what it's doing, but it's much closer to Breath of the Wild or to like Infinity Nikki than it is to anything else. I do like the character creator in Pal World, yeah. You're taking advantage of family perks? Yeah, Devin's a real one. He's been on stream before, back when we did Monster Prom. He was on stream a bit. I have really been dedicating basically all of the time that I have available that I am not spending with my loved ones to finishing this damn video. What is left for me to do now is record the rest of the audio of the review, again, stuff subject to change, record the rest of the gameplay footage, which some stuff is subject to change, but I'm just gonna have to live with it. And then, I know it sounds like, oh, just to do that, edit it together. But because it is a gameplay review and all of the live footage assets are already filmed, it's not going to be that difficult to edit together. The hard part's behind me. The hardest thing I have to do right now is get good footage that I can then use, like that I can milk. I don't want. Yeah, sure, you. I don't want just like, here's 2 minutes uncut of just me shooting at cops and like the downtime in between. I want it to be like my old reviews were, where the footage on screen is directly relevant to what I'm talking about. And the best way to do that is to play on purpose in a way where I know I'm getting footage to try and make things look good, look clean, focus where the focus should be. And bulk. Just having a bunch of footage to choose from, because sometimes you get a bad game. Except me. I don't get those, apparently. I haven't had to delete a single match that I've played. Even back in the day, when I was doing like Payday 2 reviews of weapon packs or whatever, like I usually had to delete at least one like heist, because it was like I joined a match, we got like shit stomped 2 minutes in, someone said a slur in the chat and then kicked me. Like that. No, I haven't had anything like that. I really couldn't care less about Pal World as a concept, and I'm happy they're making Nintendo get slapped in Japanese court for wasting their time. That legitimately, that was funny. That was actually hilarious. Yeah, Pal World probably isn't something I would play on my own, because the crafting is something I don't have the time to do Craftopia shit. But it has been a nice de-stressor. And again, like the amusement of going like, okay, what video game are you cribbing for this thing? Much like Crime Boss, it's its own little like mini game you're playing on top of the game. But it's more competent than I think its trailers gave it credit for. It's not high art or anything, but it's fun. I also was gifted not too long ago Rogue Point, and that I have been having a good time with. That is the co-op shooter from Crowbar Collective. That's the Black Mesa people. It is like much more tactical shooter leaning, like including leaning as a mechanic. If you really like smart tactical shooters and you have friends you're willing to play it with, like, it's in early access right now. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it. It's very frustrating solo though, so. You know what's a good survival crafting game that isn't absolute bullshit? Abiotic Factor. That game slaps. I could easily see Abiotic Factor being a stream game. I stopped playing Abiotic Factor because the place I chose to set up my base, it's been long enough now, I'm not worried about spoiling necessarily. I made my base in the outer hall. Like, you know, you have the main tram center and the shop in the like the main hub of the facility. And then there is like another room behind it on like a long path that's just trams. I built my base in that room with the trams. And I love that base. I put a lot of effort into that base and into defending that base. I really liked it. And then there is a certain part of the game you hit where that main area gets changed a bit. And what happened is the trees changed models. All of the trees in the area changed models from like very basic greenery trees to like higher detail autumn trees. The problem is my frame rate went with it. Like now, whenever I was in my base, my frame rate flatlined. I like anytime I looked in the direction of those trees, I was getting like 40 to 30 frames a second at most. And it really disincentivized me from playing the game because all the time I was trying to do inventory management was laggy and like inconsistent. And I wouldn't have built my base there if I had known that was going to happen. But I didn't want to have to move it because that would have been a lot of work. So I just kind of fell off of the game. But stream game, playing that on stream, that I would be down for because I've seen about half of it, so I won't be lost in the beginning. But there's a whole bunch of shit in it that I have not seen, so we can still get some good like reveals on stream. I would definitely be down for that. Yeah, there's still like 5 levels, bud. Yeah, they've definitely got to add more maps. For sure, they have to add more maps. Oh, give me some good music. I think before I go, this isn't going to be the longest stream. I just wanted to give you all an update on what was happening and like mark the occasion for my birthday. I do think I am going to record a little bit of the script on camera. You all know what a nut graph is? You ever heard the phrase nut graph from anyone other than me? If you don't know, a nut graph is a short paragraph that describes a topic. Usually, if you're reading the news and something culturally relevant comes up, like this actor from this show, and the show is important because it's related to the story in some way, like people treated this actor like the character from the show or whatever, the news article has to explain in brief to an audience that is like probably only passingly knows about this or may know absolutely nothing about this, what the entire show is. So you have a nut graph. You have a little paragraph that's like, ER is a TV show about a hospital where shit breaks all the time. That kind of thing. You heard nut grab and you were confused. It's N-U-T-G-R-A-F. Nut graph. But I've got a nut graph for Payday 3 that I need to record at some point. It's just like an isolated section. And I think this might be a nice little time to do it. I am going to need to turn off the fan and that air purifier and this fan. We had a lot of fans going. Did I mention it was over 100 degrees? I'm going to set it to be AFK briefly, but I am still here. I am just moving stuff around. I will be 1 second. You know, I would show you all the intro to the video as like a sneak peek, but I think it's going to start a conversation that I would rather have the rest of the video to supplement. So just trust me when I say like the first 8 minutes of the video are just completely fucking done. But it's gonna be a bit. It's gonna be September when you see that. Okay, turning off my fan, switching back to IRL. Let the music finish while I get this set up. Keyboard keeps doing this thing where if I like wiggle the cord just a little bit, it comes loose and then stops working entirely. Okay. Yeah, your mouse does that as well. Yeah, I think it's something with the port itself that it like loses connection. It's so annoying. I've got a wireless mouse, so it just occasionally loses connection anyways. Okay, here's my nut graph. It's several paragraphs long because the video is long, but it fits all in one screen at least. That's nice. So y'all get to hear me record a little bit of the video. This section, I'm going to try and invoke my old video style a little bit, so get ready. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done the voice. Since I've done the voice I used to do. Oh, geez, I can like barely do that now because my own voice is just like flattened out so much to what it is now. Okay. All right, let's go full radio presenter. Like a little more J.K. Simmons. Little more. Oh, hang on, that fan behind me is still on. I was like, hang on, I hear a fan. There we go. Okay. deathly quiet. That's better. Payday 3 is an up to 4-player horde shooter with environmental reconnaissance role-playing elements across the various boroughs of New York City. You should talk like a 1920s radio presenter. Payday 3 is an up to 4-player horde shooter with environmental reconnaissance role-playing elements across the various boroughs of New York City. Sure, this is a combat-focused game, but if you're willing to play carefully, you can position yourself to better prepare a strike, or even avoid having to strike at all. No, that's good. I need to read it out loud once so I can like remember exactly what I'm writing. that was easy. Wow. Payday 3 is an up to 4-player horde shooter with environmental reconnaissance role-playing elements across all the various boroughs of New York City. Okay, let's hear that. Payday 3 is an up to 4-player horde shooter with environmental reconnaissance role-playing elements across all the various boroughs of New York City. About 10% less. About 10% less bravado, huh? Payday 3 is an up to 4-player horde shooter with environmental reconnaissance role-playing elements across all the various boroughs of New York City. That might be it. Payday 3 is an up to 4-player horde shooter. Ah, damn it. I gotta lean slightly further back from my mic and popping it. I'm popping it. Oh. Payday 3 is an up to 4-player horde shooter with environmental reconnaissance role-playing elements across all the various boroughs of New York City. Third time's the charm? Payday 3 is an up to 4-player horde shooter with environmental reconnaissance role-playing elements across all the various boroughs of New York City. There we go, nailed it. Although I click my... I've noticed I do that more and more. I click my tongue when I'm done recording. Like, when I'm like, oh, I got a good take, I'm like, yeah, that's good. Like, no, stop doing that. It shows up in the take. City. Okay, that'll be fine. I can edit it down later if I really need to. Payday 3 is an up to 4-player horde shooter with environmental reconnaissance role-playing elements across all the various boroughs of New York City. Well, Bamboo, I'm thinking about doing some more evening streams again once I get back, once these videos are done and I get back into streaming full time. Because I look back very fondly on those like late night Black Mesa streams. I think I want to do something like that again. Also, sometimes that's what works out best with everyone's schedules. Like, during the time I would normally be streaming, that's time I have with people who are usually otherwise at work. So it might end up being that I do some more, like, 9 p.m. streams, like that kind of thing. Do evening game runs. Sure, this is a combat-focused game, but if you're willing to play carefully, you can position yourself to better prepare to strike, or even avoid having to strike at all. Starting to sound like Speaker D. Sure, this is a combat-focused game, but if you're willing to play carefully, you can position yourself to better prepare to strike, or even avoid having to strike at all. That's good, except the last part. So I can re-record just that last part. I dropped the voice a little too much at the end. City. Sure, this is a combat-focused game, but if you're willing to play carefully, you can position yourself to better prepare to strike. I can hear the exact trick my dad does, and like so clearly every time there's a comma. Like, I don't know if this is about to be the end of the sentence or not, so I'm gonna make it sound like it could be. You're watching a toast of London. I don't know what that means in this context. Please elaborate. Or even avoid having to strike at all. Or even avoid having to strike at all. Or even avoid having to strike at all. If I don't do the hand gestures, then I can't. I'm fingering you with information. Fucking pointing it out right at you. Or even avoid having to strike at all. Yourself to better prepare to strike. Or even avoid. A little less of a gap. I've gotten very fast at strike. This. Or even avoid having to strike at all. Do y'all know that keyboard shortcuts are some good shit? Anyways. Slip onto the scene and stealth. Oh, Christ, the S-whistles on that are going to be a nightmare. Up here. Nutgraph.aup. Nutgraph. Slip onto the scene in stealth and case the place, dodging cameras and security, guarding areas with valuables to steal. Toast of London is a sitcom where Matt Berry... Oh, that Matt Berry. Okay, yeah. Voice actor, look up Toast of London, fire the nuclear weapons, or Clam Fandango to get what I mean. I think I've seen clips of this out of context without knowing what it was from that were just showed up because it was Matt Berry. Meaningless gestures and indicating numbers on my fingers when trying to record my voiceover stuff. It helps you pace the emphasis, like, to the expectation. Something that kind of broke me of being embarrassed by it is, like, you can hear when someone's using scare quotes, right? But part of what makes that work is that the timing of their voice is emphasized to the gesture. So you kind of have to do the gesture to make the voice sound right. Slip onto the scene in stealth and case the place, dodging cameras and security, guarding areas with valuables to steal. It's turning into like Nintendo presenter voice. Coming soon. Hang on, actually, let me give this a sincere bass. Coming soon to Nintendo Switch 2. Mario fucking died. Luigi's gotta bury his body in the new Dig Dug. Payday 2 on Switch 2. No, there's no fucking way. The fucking handshake deal they made to get Payday on Switch at all is, like, long since expired, and the company involved, I think, died. Like, no way in fuck. To strike at all. Slip onto the scene in stealth and case the place, dodging cameras and security, guarding areas with valuables to steal. That, little too much corn. Sorry. More bread, less corn, thank you very much. And don't forget the DLC, Defend Luigi in Court. The new Ace Attorney is back. Sorry, the Payday 3 game for the Nintendo Switch system. No way on God's green earth. No way would it happen. Absolutely not. I would be flabbergasted. All right, a little less cheese. Slip onto the scene in stealth and case the place, dodging cameras and security, guarding areas with valuables to steal. With the right talents and team, you might just make it out with the goods unnoticed. Of course, if you get spotted and can't wriggle your way out of it, the alarm sounds and waves of heavily armed SWAT officers pull up to your location. Let's see if that was good. How else will we get Pearl in Smash 6? Big Apple style. It's her final Smash. She steals the Big Apple. There's an apple up there, and oh damn it, she's taking it. She's taking it for herself. That's fucking Payday 3 abridged. I'm gonna steal the Big Apple. It's not... It's the Kremlin all over again. At all. Slip onto the scene in stealth and case the place, dodging cameras and security, guarding areas with valuables to steal. With the right talents and team, you might... See, I take a breath here, and I've been leaving those in because it's fine, but I am actually going to punctuate it a little bit, or truncate it even a little bit, because I want this to sound a little more like broadcaster. With valuables to steal. With the right talents and team, you might just make it out with the goods unnoticed. Of course, if you get spotted and can't wriggle your way out of it. That's a pretty nasty S-whistle on spotted. Spotted. Okay, I can isolate it. Volume. De-amplify it by about 2.6. You get spotted and can't wriggle your way out of it. The alarm sound. And then truncate the breath here. I'm just using crossfade clips every time I'm truncating here. You just select a single area and crossfade, and it just brings the whole thing down. Out of it, the alarm sounds and waves of heavily armed SWAT officers pull up to your location. Okay, so Square, I thought about that too. I really did think about that too. The cameras and security guarding areas. Is it the way I read it, or is it the line itself? Because I also thought that might come off a bit strange in the read. Dodging cameras and security guarding areas with valuables to steal. My thought process is that the footage on screen is going to kind of make that make sense. Like, I cut to a security guard as I'm saying guarding areas. But I'm... I don't know. Let me think. I guess it kind of works. I think it's gonna work with the footage on screen. Like, if the moment that you're having where you go, oh, like a security guard, oh no, I see what you're saying, is a feeling I'm trying to achieve, but it will only be beneficial if the footage is complementing it rather than working against it. I do that in my writing a lot on purpose. Like, oh, you don't mean that thing, you mean this other thing, but that first thing that you put in your head, hold on to that because you're gonna need it in a second. Pull up to your location. Oh god, I turned into Zap Brannigan. Captain's log. We walked up in a giant circle to the diamond store. It turns out they brought explosives, so I made a tactical retreat using my men as human shields. Of course, the shields they brought are made of tinfoil, budgetary constraints. New York is populous, so you have plenty of innocent civilians to contend with getting caught up in your crossfire. Oh, can I do this without sounding like I'm from New York? Hang on. Caught is a hard word for me. New York is populous, so you'll have plenty of innocent civilians to contend with getting caught up in your crossfire. It's to both the criminals and cops' benefit to delay the attack until some hostages are exchanged. Kraz, thank you so much. You made the food that we have purchased today not be a financial hit. So that means a lot. That helps a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. I think you're gonna have fun with this review. It will be fun as an outsider not playing the game anymore, just as much as it will be fun for people who still play the game, I think. I'm not trying to offend anyone who likes this game. Thank you so much for showing up. Take care. New York is populous, so New York is populous. New York is... Let me see if I can, fix that. I probably can't. Is populous, so you'll have plenty of... New York is populous. Is populous, so you'll... Oh, there we go. That's fun. You just fade in on the plosives. Or fade out if it's at the end. New York is populous, so you'll have plenty of innocent civilians to contend with getting caught up in your crossfire. It's to both the criminals and cops' benefit to delay the attack until some hostages are exchanged. Hostages? Oh, God. I have been accepting more and more that I have an East Coast accent. I only notice it when people, like, make fun of it over here. Can't get caught dead saying photography. Crossfire. It's to both the criminals and cops' benefit to delay the attack until some hostages are exchanged. Say hostages like hoagie. Sorry, I had a motorcycle in my throat. Okay. You can buy yourself time to set up defenses, maybe get that little bit closer to the loot. Let a drill work its way through a locked door, or your handler's shade tap into security. Your handler's shade tap into security. Did I speak ahead of my mic there? Oh, I might have done. That's to the loot. Let a drill work its way through a locked... Yeah, I did. Damn it. Okay, hang on. Sometimes I'll be like, huh, that seemed a little quieter, and I realize I was, like, over here, and I'm like, oh, shit. No, the mic's here, though. Saying rework without turning it, blending into rework. I guess I also have trouble with that. I had to go to speech therapy for my R's and W's. I really break that shit up. Rework. Like, I just see it as two words in my head and do my best. Rework. You can buy yourself time to set up defenses. Maybe get that little bit closer to the loot. You can buy yourself time to set up defenses. Maybe get that little bit closer to the loot. Let a drill work its way through a locked door, or your handler Shade tap into security. You can buy yourself time to set up defenses. Maybe get that little bit closer to the loot. Let a drill work its way through a locked door, or your handler Shade tap into security. Brilliant. Good read. I'm doing like a cardinal sin here. I shouldn't be recording this right after eating. But it's fine because I'm doing a voice. So it's fine. Messages are exchanged. You can buy yourself time to set up defenses. Maybe get that changed. You can buy yourself time. Less of a gap, please. Or exchanged. You can buy yourself time to set up defenses. Maybe get that little bit closer to the loot. Let a drill work its way through a locked door, or your handler Shade tap into security. And then a little bit of a fade out at the end. There's no way out, this fade out. Be happy to get what you do. To security. There we go. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3 paragraphs left. Then, if and when police start the assault, things get loud. The music picks up, bullets are flying in all directions, everyone's trading grenades, tear gas, electricity, drones. The occasional baton or baseball bat gets pulled out and thrown. The occasional baton or baseball bat gets pulled out and thrown down. This is cheesy. This writing is cheesy. I know it's cheesy. It's supposed to be cheesy. Things get loud. The music picks up, bullets are flying in all directions, everyone's trading grenades, tear gas, electricity, drones. The occasional baton. Whoops, I've been doing fade outs instead of crossfades. I'm gonna explode. Effect, fading, crossfade clips. There we go. Drones. The occasional baton or baseball bat gets pulled out and thrown down. I don't know, maybe I will do this again. Then, if and when police start the assault. Yeah, I'm gonna do this again. I don't quite like this one. It's cheesy, but it's a little too cheesy. I want it to be like more like excited, sincere, happy. Then, if and when police start the assault, things get loud. The music picks up, bullets are flying in all directions, everyone's trading grenades, tear gas, electricity, drones. The occasional baton or baseball bat gets pulled out and thrown down. There we go. That's more like it. Well, thank you. Thank you for not texting me while I recorded that one, while I had my phone right there. Thank you for waiting that extra half second. I appreciate that. I've definitely had takes ruined by that before. But it's fine. I'm not going to get mad at seeing a text from my family. Then, if and when police start the assault, things get loud. The music picks up. Things get loud. The music picks up, bullets are flying in all directions, everyone's trading grenades, tear gas, electricity, drones. The occasional baton. Get rid of that breath there. I want it to be like a snappy, 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 fast, fast, fast. The occasional baton or baseball bat gets pulled out and thrown down. I'm a little bit ahead of the mic there, but because it's baton and baseball bats, these like plosives, or these blowsives in this case, I think that's okay. It probably would have sounded worse if I'd done it any other way. Occasional baton or baseball bat gets pulled out and thrown down. Yeah, especially the pulled out there. Let me fix that a little. Sophia, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for the good wishes. Thank you for the congrats on our anniversary. Although it's not our anniversary. It's our anniversary of getting together, Austin and I. But then, if and when police start. Doop. Fading, crossfade. Security. Then, if and when. A little more of a gap. Give me a little more of a gap there. Into security. Then. That's too much. Too much gap. Too much gap. Tap into security. Then, if and when police start the assault, things get loud. The music picks up, bullets are flying in all directions, everyone's trading grenades, tear gas, electricity, drones. The occasional baton or baseball bat gets pulled out and thrown down. You're the payday crew, though. You're the payday crew. You're the payday crew, though. You've done this a million times before. I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel the old voice. You're the payday crew. You're the payday crew, though. You've done this a million times before. It's both. It's both the payday gang and the payday crew. They keep using it interchangeably based off of which one they've used most recently. Volume. Should I say the payday gang, you think? Let me actually look this up. Let me see. The payday. If I look up the payday crew, payday gang is what the wiki refers to it as. Yeah, they use the words crew and gang interchangeably, which I think is really funny. So, you've done this a million times before. I think crew sounds, because what I'm trying to emphasize here is that you're organized. I think crew is a little bit, you're the payday crew. Oh, did that again. Volume, fading, crossfade clips. Boop. Down. You're the payday. Down. You're the payday crew. A little more of a gap. Down. You're the pay. Not that much. Down. You're the payday crew, though. You've done this a million times before. Run, slide, and parkour your way to safety, literally dodging bullets. Or tank up and take cover. The more cops you take down, the sooner you'll ride out the assault wave and send them packing. Yeah, I'm fucking getting into it. I could do narrations for trailers and shit. Sure, why not? Run, slide, and parkour your way to safety, literally dodging bullets. Or tank up and take cover. The more cops you take down, the sooner you'll ride out the assault wave and send them packing. Got it in one. Nice. Sometimes you just get it in one. Any imperfections I have there, I'm like, yeah, it's just flavor. Before. Runs. A little less of a gap this time. Before. Run, slide, and a little bit more of a, god damn it. A little bit more of a gap than that. There is a flow I'm looking for here. Before. Run, slide, and parkour your way to safety, literally dodging bullets. Or tank up and take cover. The more cops you take down, the sooner you'll ride out the assault wave and send them packing. That line is new, by the way. The more cops you take down, the sooner you'll ride out the assault. That I added because of the heat meter. I'm keeping the phrasing just a little bit generic because there is still a chance they will rework or remove the heat meter. I doubt it at this point, but I want to leave the phrase. I don't want to leave it like your progress is tied directly to how many people you killed. This is how many people you have, like anything like that. I want to leave it just a little vague here for this fun little intro romp. This gives you breathing room to complete mission-critical This gives you breathing room to complete mission-critical objectives. Use thermite to melt your way into the vault, to rip the doors off an armored transport. This gives you breathing room to complete mission-critical objectives. Use thermite to melt your way into the vault, to rip the doors off an armored transport. I'm just adding a little bit of flavor to the end of that list because a 2 list is a little strange. This gives you breathing room to complete mission-critical objectives. Use thermite to melt your way into the vault. Rip the doors off an armored transport. Classic heisting fantasies. This gives you breathing room to Damn it. This gives you breathing room to complete mission-critical objectives. Use thermite to melt your way into the vault. Rip the doors off an armored transport. Classic heisting fantasies. Hey, Payday crew, Vlad here. You fucked up. You fucked up. I'm coming for you. Slaughterhouse, but Vlad's at the end of the container. Where's my pig? I need it as good. Backing. This gives you breathing room to complete mission-critical objectives. Use thermite to melt your way into the vault. Rip the doors off an armored transport. Classic heisting fantasies. Also, I've always liked Payday Crew more than Payday Gang, because I get it's supposed to be like, oh, the gang's back at it again, but the emphasis on we're professionals makes me really like the phrasing of crew more. Like we're all members of a team here. Gang, I think, implies a little less of a structure for individuals within it. It implies more of like everything filters under like one or a handful of individuals, which is never really how I've seen it. I've seen it be like you have Bane as your handler, but then you have all these individuals who are helping plan things. If you bring the pig to the end of the heist, Vlad will unhinge his jaw and swallow it whole. If you don't, he'll detonate his nuke right then and there. Yeah, if Vlad is sitting in the chair with the bomb from Hotline Miami Day 2, it's just Vlad sat there, but he has the nuke strapped to the back of it. Where's my fucking pig? That's actually where he got the gold, too. They just gave him the gold, too, to be safe, and then that got stolen for Poison Blue. Now you know that's canon. It's in those Lost tapes, I'm pretty sure. Where was I? Classic heisting fantasies. If you've stopped the rescue team from freeing your hostage, there's actually a better way to phrase this. If you protect your hostages from the rescue team. Bingo, that's much better. I want the phrasing to be hostage rescue team in there, so. Man, isn't it crazy that when they removed the HRT from Payday 2, that's when the game got more straight? Wait, no. Hang on, I can't stand by that opinion. That can't be true. They added Jimmy later. There's been plenty of HRT jokes made over the years, but it'll always be amusing to me. If you protect your hostages from the rescue team, or have the skill to intimidate a law if you protect your hostages from the rescue team, or have the skill to intimidate a Poison Blue. I didn't notice they removed the Sabotage Squad and HRT arrival lines from Shade until a mod came out to re-implement them. I think that was dumb, and it further irritates me that basically Starbreeze had to be badgered into adding special, like, lines anyways in the first fucking place. Like, they're like, no, we don't see a reason to. We don't see, like, a value in that. And, like, no, yeah, but people are confused why suddenly there are new enemies. They do need an explanation. But you're right, they did remove those lines, didn't they? Fucking hell. Hostage rescue teams are inbound. I haven't heard that in a moment. Man. I guess the logic being they played literally every time, and usually the Sabotage Squad line would play immediately after you start an objective. But I don't know. I feel like more information's good. Alright, one more time. If you protect your hostages from the rescue team, or have the skill to intimidate a law enforcer into surrendering themselves, they can be leveraged for valuable resources or traded if any of your crew got pinched and... I got the first half. It's what matters. Was I ahead of the mic again? I'm gonna explode. If you protect your hostages... No, that's fine. If you protect your A little bit of a bump on protect, but I can fix that. If you protect your hostages... I said I can fix that. You protect your That's too much. Let's try and amplify. If you protect your hostages from the rescue team, or have the skill to intimidate a law enforcer into surrendering themselves... They also apparently removed the lines for naders, zappers, and cloakers. Wait. Because they start spawning... Did they I'm putting in so much effort to justify decisions that they have made, but, like, then they make decisions like this where, like, well, it doesn't make sense for them to announce when the specials spawn in because we're spawning in, like, 30 times as many and much more quickly. I don't know, I feel like you have a problem here and it's not the thing that you think it is. Fantasies. If you protect your hostages... Classic heisting fantasies. If you protect your hostages from... Crossfade a little more. Fantasies. If you protect your hostages from the rescue team, or have the skill to intimidate a law enforcer into surrendering themselves... I could say himself, but maybe they'll add femcops that aren't just the techie at some point. Who knows? They can be leveraged for valuable resources, or traded if any of your crew got pinched to get them back in the fight. They can be leveraged for valuable resources, or traded if any of your crew got pinched to get them back in the fight. You think the Payday crew will acknowledge women exist? Until we get Bonnie in the game, I'm declaring that they will only acknowledge one type of woman. Bonnie or bust. Bonnie and bust. They can be leveraged for valuable resources, or traded if any of your crew got pinched to... They can be leveraged for valuable resources, or traded if any of your crew got pinched to get them back in the fight. Pinched to is a difficult one to say. They can be leveraged for valuable resources, or traded... 10% less. 10, maybe 20% less cheese. They can be leveraged for valuable resources, or traded if any of your crew got pinched to get them back in the fight. The fight. The fight. The fight. Get them back in the fight. Actually, that sounds fine. I'm not normally this much of a perfectionist about longer videos like this. I'll just take, like, the best audio I can get in short order. But for this specific nutgraph thing, I want it to sound real nice. During themselves, they can be leveraged for... They can be leveraged for valuable resources. What am I bumping on? 4? Really? Qu'est-ce que ton? Fading, volume, amplify, crank it down by, let's try just 1.2%. Huh? That a little better?
Bridged for valuable resources, or traded if any of your crew got pinched to get them back in the fight.
That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. Nearing the end.
This is why payday's better in co-op. You've got multiple things to do and limited time to do it. How long can you last against another assault wave? This is why payday's better in co-op. You've got multiple things to do and limited time to do it. How long can you last against another assault wave?
I'm starting to sound tired. I can hear in my voice I am starting to sound tired. But I also think that benefits the thing I'm doing here a little bit. Of like, for people who are like unabashedly, like completely into the thing I'm describing here, I think they're just going to be like, yeah. For people who are like, this kind of sounds exhausting, actually. This doesn't quite sound like the game I had in mind. Which those people I'm going to address in short order after this. Then I could see like an argument to be made that like me getting more tired benefits the voice of like, this sounds exhausting.
Fight. This is why payday's better in co-op. You've got multiple things to do and limited time to do it. How long can you last against another assault wave? Once you've bagged as much loot as you can handle hauling, time to extract. The cops will keep throwing bodies at the problem, bringing in snipers to tear through your armor in a single blow. Bulldozers and bomb suits with auto shotties who don't respect most of your tricks and tools.
Well, hey, the thing you just said about the special spawning in at the beginning kind of makes this bulldozer line work a little better to pull near the end. Y'all see what I'm doing there with the don't respect thing? Do you see it? Do you see it? That's not even true anymore. They do respect your fucking SMG knockback skill. Jesus.
Wave. Once you've bagged as much loot as you can handle hauling, time to extract. The cops will keep throwing bodies at the problem.
Ooh, that's a badass whistle. Jesus.
Cops will...
Yeah, right there. Let's fix that. Effects, volume compression, amplify. Turn it down by, let's try 2.6.
Cops will keep throwing...
That didn't really solve it. Wow. I hope this doesn't ruin the take. 4.
The cops will keep throwing bodies at the problem, bringing in... The cops will keep throwing bodies at the problem, bringing in snipers to tear through your armor in a single blow. Bulldozers and bomb suits with auto shotties who don't respect most of your tricks and tools.
Okay, I'm good with this. I am good with that take. Okay.
But if you can make it to your getaway alive, toss in the bags and escape, you're in the clear. You've earned your cut of the money and experience to spend on upgrades.
What? Upgrades? What the fuck was that read? I gotta hear that again.
Experience to spend on upgrades.
What? I sound like I'm being held at gunpoint. Spend on upgrades.
Alive, toss in the bags and escape, you're in the clear. You're in the clear. But if you can make it to your getaway alive, toss in the bags and escape, you're in the clear.
There's a little bit of a yeet at the end there, but that's fine, because that's what it's going to cross into anyways. Me when I'm afraid of upgrades. Me when I'm trying to use my PC and I get a notification in the bottom right. Upgrades!
Tools. Tools. But if you...
Okay, that mouth noise has got to die.
But if you can make it... Tools. But if you can make it to your... Tools. But if you can make it to your getaway alive, toss in the bags and escape, you're in the clear.
Yeah, I hate Square. I hate with a passion having to tell players, don't secure that loot. It will start the final charge. Don't secure it. It's so annoying to have to tell people just throw it up on a high shelf where they can't reach it. No, you know the really satisfying thing where you put the loot in the van and then you get a pop-up and a little audio cue that's like, yeah, look at all the money you just got. Don't have that experience. Don't do it until we can do it all at once and then leave immediately so you don't even get to see all the pop-ups for the fucking loot. So annoying.
Tools. But if you can make it to your getaway alive, toss in the bags and escape, you're in the clear. You've earned your cut of the money and experience to spend on upgrades, crazier and more powerful firearms, contraptions, abilities. You could also deck yourself out in cosmetics. A healthy balance of the two is my preference.
How many times did I S-whistle? Let's find out together.
You've earned your cut of the money and experience to spend on upgrades, crazier and more powerful firearms, contraptions, abilities. You could also deck yourself out in cosmetics. A healthy balance of the two is my preference.
No, we didn't. Nice.
Cut of the money and experience to spend...
I don't know why I sound so faded out when I say experience. I must have looked away from the mic. But that'll come out in the wash. That's fine.
You've earned your cut of the money and experience to spend on upgrades, crazier and more powerful firearms, contraptions, abilities. You could also deck yourself out in...
You know what? I'm actually gonna change the way I'm saying that last part. Touch the Skies rework is egregious for the final charge because the roof spawns are insane if someone places the flare before you get all the bags. Yeah, I've got footage of us deciding not to go back for extra loot because of the final assault on the roof being so brutal. I used Sociopath to break down to get to the first floor to get to the vault, or to the penthouse to get to the vault, and then like literally in the time I am leaving and coming back with the zip line, everyone's died. Like, it's fucking stupid. And final charge has got to go, seriously. That's also why I phrase this as the cops will keep throwing bodies at the problem. I don't want to say, like, start an endless assault or whatever. Because maybe they will change that. But when I'm talking about the specifics of the final charge, if they do later change it, people can still look back on that and go, oh, okay, they changed this since. But in the context of this little nut graph here, I don't want to imply that, like, this is a key aspect of the game when it's something so contentious that I am personally living in hope that they will change.
You could also deck yourself out in cosmetics. A healthy balance of the two is my preference, customizing my guns to look good and feel good, tailoring a good suit to...
Scatman!
Of the two is my preference. Of the two is my preference, customizing my guns to look good and feel good. You could You could also deck yourself out in cosmetics. A healthy balance of the two is my preference, customizing my guns to look good and feel good. Tailoring a good suit to... Tailoring a nice suit and...
I say good a lot there.
A high-quality suit mask to match. High-quality rip, sir. Tailoring Tailoring a high-quality suit and mask to match, then getting back out there to pull off another score. Tailoring a high-quality suit and mask to match, then getting back out there to pull off another score. Available now on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. That is Payday 3. I don't know if I'll use the last bit there, but I had to... Tailoring a high-quality suit and mask to match, then getting back out there to pull off another score. Available... We are almost done. Almost done. Oh god, the audio differential on these. I'm gonna have to fix that. Hold on. Effect, volume, amplify by like 3%. That might be too much. Amplify. Volume, amplify. Let's try by 2.1. Firearms, contraptions, abilities. You could also deck yourself out in cosmetics. A healthy balance of the two is my preference, customizing my guns to look good and feel good. Tailoring a high-quality suit and... Let me merge these a little better. Effect fading, crossfade clips. Good. Tailoring a high-quality suit and mask to match, then getting back out there to pull off another score. I ended score. Available now for Available... Oh, that's right. That's... Oh, I'm glad I did another take on that, because I wrote a very specific thing here, and I want to make sure I say it right. Jesus. Available for now on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. That is Payday 3. I'm glad I caught that. I would have been so disappointed if I didn't do that right. Available for now on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. That is Payday 3. That is Payday 3. And then what I cut back to is like, but that is not necessarily what a lot of pre-launch players were signing up for. To make the point that, like, this whole horde shooter, fight off as many cops as you can thing that's not quite what people had in mind on launch. Payday 3. That is Payday 3. Available... Oh, whoops. I'm a fool. I'm merging the wrong things. I merge this over here. Effect, fade, and crossfade clips. There to pull off another score. Available. Another score. Available for now on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. That is Payday 3. Available for now on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. That is Payday 3. That's good. Effect, noise reduction. Get noise profile. Boop. Effect, noise reduction. Across the whole thing. Then, effect, legacy... Oh no, hang on, wait. It's a different thing, right? I want the legacy normalizer. The two is my preference, customizing my guns to this a million times before. Run, slide, and parkour. Cosmetics, a healthy balance of security, guarding area. Maybe that's a little too much amplification. Normalize to not 0.3. That might be closer to what I'm looking for. It's to both the criminals and cops. Baseball bat gets pulled out and thrown. You could also deck yourself out in cosmetics, a healthy balance of Fading, volume, amplify, deafen that just a little bit because the peaks kind of went flying. Firearms, contraptions, abilities. You could also deck yourself out in cosmetics. A healthy balance of the two is my preference. Okay, and anything else will get like sorted in the wash. It'll be a lot easier for me to, when I'm doing the final mastering of the audio, go this is too loud versus this, because I'll have Vegas's visualizer for overall volume right there. And sometimes it's okay for something to be louder because the music is like complementing it. Like if the music pulls out in a section where it's a bit louder, then there's no problem. I would rather keep it that way. Sometimes, like I want to keep this about as consistent as I can, but any little variances, it comes out in the wash. Effect, finally, legacy limiter. Put a soft limit over the whole ass thing, just for those really high peaks. Grenades, tear gas, electricity, drones. The occasional baton or baseball bat gets pulled out and thrown down. Payday 3, will you be available for me to play forever? I'll be there for 3 years. 3 entire years. Hey, they're about to hit their 3rd year. We'll see. Or like the end of the 3rd year. Right, this is good. I can actually mark all of that in green now as recorded. That's the wrong one. There we go. Now I have this whole block of my script that's in green instead of in black and white. Yay! I will export this audio as Payday 3 Nut Graph into the Chapter 1 folder. Export. Boom! Thank you for joining me for that. That made that a lot of fun. Made the prospect of doing work on my birthday less daunting. It's really nice to know that I've got that in the bag. Just another thing ticked off the list that I've got to go through. There's still so much work to be done, but it is manageable work. I've broken it down into manageable chunks, and the most difficult parts are already behind me. It is just time consuming to record and edit so much footage. But we did it, and I can do it because of your help. Let me get one last new song. Thank you all for keeping with me on this ride. September will be when this video is out. I'm hoping it will be early September, like very early September, but I am just saying September to be nice to myself in case something happens and I need like a couple extra weeks to finish it. I think people will have a lot of fun with it. I think this will be more fun than part 1, but not quite as like bitingly revelatory as part 1, and a fraction as important and revelatory as part 3, baby. Oh god. Yeah, part 3 will probably be November. And I'll see you all then. Good night. It's 2 p.m., but good night. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around, Square, seriously. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone takes care. Ball picks, thank you. Thank you all, really.